Matt Meehan here for IrishBoxing.com with the Kingdom Warrior Kevin Cronin. Kevin, an eventful last few months for you. You know, obviously a big show in the Tree Arena and a big opportunity. And you know what happened. What happened since? But since then, how are we?
Yeah, looking good. Had a sore few weeks after it. Hard pill to swallow, but look, nothing I'm not used to at this stage. Um, as I said, I've never once came out after one of my fights and mentioned robbery. I've always let the people have their verdict. So again, I won't go too much into that one. But look, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm used to it. Um, I have to do it the hard way. You know, I have to it's a hard road for me. So it is what it is.
Just talk me through that. How did that opportunity originally come about to fight on such a big show? Because I know before you were calling the shots for the big shows, and then you know a big opportunity arises, and you know as I say, you know when an opportunity like that comes, grab it with full hands, and that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, look, we always kind of knew that fight was going to come about. We didn't need to be mounting off about it. To be honest, I don't mount off about fights, even when people do. The only time I've ever had any bit of probably bitterness, you'd say, is the Craig McCarthy fight, and I think you just brought that out of me. Look, it was just a clash of personalities between me and Craig. That was all it was, and that's just not the way I am. Like I don't really do the beef talk. People know with me, they're going to get a good fight, and that's it. I don't need to talk it up or anything like that. Where they come about, kind of came about. Well, as I said, we always knew it was going to be happening at some stage. It kind of came about, I'd say, when I signed with Conlan. We were talking about what fights, potential fights there was. They went through a few names. Obviously, they were on about the Jamie rematch that they'd like to do that and just kind of tick that one off the box. But look, Jamie's retired since, so look, I wish him the very best in the future and whatever he does in life. But then obviously Emma's name was mentioned. There was obviously international kind of names, routes we want to go down, things we want to do. But they obviously wanted to get me active because my big problem the last few years was fights falling through and this and that in small house shows. So yeah, they just got me out active. We had the fight in June, I think it was in the zone,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fighting. Yeah, I was fighting a journeyman who it was frustrating because he was just kept running and running away. And I remember I hopped out of the ring and I was sitting next to Jamie and Mick, and I said, "No, so I can't do these fights anymore. So I can't even get up for these fights. Like I said, they don't interest me anymore. So get me a tough fight. Like, sure." I said, "What's the story with the Jamie trilogy? Can we just do it next? Like, because I want to push on. Like, and obviously I mentioned that in the interview as well. And there was a few comments from Brennan and I know one or two of his supporters. Um, I suppose that maybe they were trying to draw me out or something. It was kind of a smart comment. And then I'm not sure they'd making them see it, but they said to me, "What about Brennan?" And I just said, "I don't care." Like I said, if people think I'm afraid of him, whatever. I said, "I'm not afraid of him." I said, "If that's the fight to make it." And then obviously the opportunity came up for the Tree Arena, and within within before the first phone call, he said, "Oh, look, Tree Arena card, will you fight him with Brennan?" I said, "Yeah." Like, to be honest with you, I said, "Yeah," straight away, and I didn't know whether it was accepted in Brennan's side or what for weeks upon weeks because I was just the click of a finger I was taking it.
It's a big like, and it was a massive opportunity. I remember you like hinting one or two things, and I'm here like obviously through IrishBoxing.com. I'm trying to figure out what is he trying to say here. What is this man trying to get at us? What's he trying to figure out? But eventually, it all came to light. But a big experience. But just talk to me, like, what was it like fighting finally in a big arena like that in the True Arena, and you know, looking around and seeing your fans left, right, and center in the blocks and in the seats that were right in front of you, and in the ring as well.
Yeah. Look, I guess when I was leaving the dressing room, I wasn't too sure what to expect. It was going one or two ways. It was either going to completely overawe me, or I was going to shine and John under the lights. And I kind of knew once the ring walk started, and once I seen the crowd and heard a couple of boos and stuff, and then it was just that split second. I said, "Yeah, I'm doing the business tonight." Like Joe, I felt fine. There was no jitters in my legs. There was nothing like that. But I kind of felt that anyway in the last, let's say second Jamie fight was probably the next biggest stage I was on. That was the most comfortable I felt and then the zone card, I felt more comfortable in that than any of the small hall shows. So like that, I think it's just the bigger the stage you put me on, the better I'll be.
Were you surprised by what Dana White said after? Like even that coming out of his mouth, like I say that kind of was like, oh my god, like Dana White was, he was there, he was ringside, he watched all the fights, but then to hear what he said after in the post-fight press conference.
Was I surprised with
Yeah,
what he said?
no, but like
No.
no, but like it was kind of, but like it was kind of like, oh my god, like Dana White actually said that, like he was like he agrees. If you get me, like he was like, okay, he knows what happened, you know.
Yeah, no. I'd say no because what ye heard in the press conference,
Yeah,
I heard it a lot more abruptly from him in the ring. There
yeah,
was a lot stronger words used to me
yeah,
when I was talking. I was out over the ropes. Obviously, I was emotional, but I actually didn't
yeah,
realize where I was leaning, and I didn't realize Dana was sitting there and Steve Collins was sitting there,
yeah,
and it was my coach was kind of hitting me in the back, and he was there. Look in front of you, you Joey Wave. Just look up.
yeah.
And when I looked up, they were going berserk. Like
Yeah,
Dana he was losing his rag. He was effing and blind, and this is ridiculous, and this and that, and he said, and Steve Collins had a few strong words to say as well. Like so two kind of guys that I really look up to, and always have looked up to, and huge people in combat sports. So
yeah,
like that, it it's a cool experience.
yeah,
Like, but no, I'm not surprised with it. And he said, and like, I think the Dana one is the one that kind of got the headlines because of who he is. But
yeah,
there was a lot of significant names came forward after that. And like obviously I'm not causing no falling outs with anyone, so I'm
yeah,
not going to name people.
yeah,
But like if there were people in my team messaging one of my opponents telling them that how hard you were done by, I'd be pretty disgusted. So
yeah,
so yeah, look, I won't name names because
yeah.
I'm not causing no falling
That's
outs with
fine.
them.
That's fine. But has there been any talk? Has Tom Loeffler or any of the lads from that promotion contact you again about having you back?
Yeah, yeah. Look, I was talking to the lads. Yeah, there's a few things. There's a few things in place. I won't go into them. I know Mick kind of let a few things slip last
Yeah,
bit, but
he let it slip
um,
fairly publicly that he let it slip. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, and it was, oh, with Steve Martin,
yeah,
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 he was.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, yeah, look, I've a fight in front of me in December, and I'm activity is key for me. You've seen what activity done for me once I got a small bit active and I went into a big fight and I shone in front of everyone, So like all I gotta do is keep active, go on to a bigger get the win in December, move on to a bigger stage, and just do a job more significant. Obviously, I have the feeling that there's a certain commission that don't I know what the issue is there, but do I want to fight in front of them again? I don't know. Look, yeah, look, I'm fighting December. That's
yeah.
that's my mission, and that's all I'm looking at right now.
Speaking of December, Kevin, a packed card, and it's down in your part of the area, down in your part of the country in the south. So there'll be a lot of fans from Kerry that's going to be going over to Waterford. And I say that's nice, it's nice, kind of close. It's as we Irish people say, it's over the road. If you get me, so you've been bringing a lot more fans than you normally be bringing to one of your shows.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I think all my shit. Every time I fight, a good crowd comes out.
Yeah,
Um, it's always the same old story with me
yeah,
anyway. Whether the
yeah,
fight's in Belfast, New York, Cork, or Kerry, it's always fight week. I get everyone ordering tickets, So
yeah,
it's I know the way things go. There's going to be a good Kerry crowd there
yeah,
again. Look, we're going to finish the year in style. That's what I want to do. I just want to obviously look. It's been a good year. It's been an active year. There's obviously there's just bad that decision. We've had a great
yeah.
year.
Okay.
So might as well finish it out on a high. And yeah, look, obviously I'm actually not too certain who I'm fighting yet in Waterford, but it'll be who'll be.
Yeah. Well, would you have any intention at all for an Irish opponent, another domestic clash, if that could be made in Waterford? Would that interest you at all?
We'll see. Look, there's two talked about. One was kind of made before the Brennan fight. There was one made, and after the Brennan fight, that person changed their mind in the fight. So look, it does it. I don't care. I don't know. I'll see what my team bring to me, like, so I don't really care about who I'm fighting it because I'm coming off the back of a tough fight anyway. So me, it's just about getting back to winning ways.
I just want to open up more on what Mick said in that interview and the one that he did in Belfast. Can you elaborate anything else or tell us anything else publicly that alongside what Mick said about yeah.
Uh, and the rematch thing.
Yeah.
Ah, no, look, I think it speaks for itself. Look, I'm up for the rematch anyway. Look, obviously, no one sat in front of it. We've not sat down at a table and talked about it with Emmett's team or with manager and all that. My team know, Mick knows. Sound like Emmett now. Mick knows. Mick knows. Jamie knows. My team know that we'll take that fight in a heartbeat again. We done it once. Just unfortunately, we just have to go through it again and do it again. So yeah, look, there's not really much more to elaborate on. My team know not to look past December as well because no matter who's in front of me, everyone's got a puncher's chance. And once you kind of come into the heavier weight classes, I know a lot of people might look at light heavies and super middles as big heavy fellas, but you're still looking at fellas that are 6'3" and 4" in there, and they're big units. So everyone's got a puncher's chance in them weight classes. So I've always preached not looking past anyone, no matter who they are, and that's not going to change.
What are the plans for 2025? Just excluding the rematch happening potentially. Just on a lighthearted scale. If it does happen, if it doesn't happen. But is there any other plans for 2025 that you're looking forward to, or you're just gonna be like finish out December and then we're just gonna go into January and just roll from there?
Yeah, look, we'll finish out the year. Look, get the win the end of the year, and I want title fights. I want to move on. I've been in 3 domestic fights, 3 undefeated opponents. So I don't know. I'm probably, how do I say it, the most deserving person to have titles that hasn't got a title for whatever circumstances. So I'm jumping on title fights. I'm jumping into look. Obviously, I want to batter Emmett, move on. That's what I want to do. I want to move on. I want to get these big fights. I want to push on to European, international, worlds, whatever's after that. Because you know what? No one gave me a shout anyway in that last fight. Me and my team, we stayed quiet. Even when I done the interview with you before, I told you I was happy to take the back seat and just play the quiet fella.
We were sitting down in the Marco Hotel, and I asked you that question. You were you sat back and you were smiling a small bit. You were just like, yeah, well, I'll take the back seat and see what happens. And it was, you didn't really say much, but then the performance spoke in a way.
Yeah, look, everyone can keep writing me off. I don't care. Like, everyone loves an underdog. So I hope it doesn't change. I hope even that when the rematch is made and all that, I hope people keep writing me off again because my performances are only getting stronger. The better opponents you put in front of me, the better you're getting out of me. So, the only thing is, I think people realize that more in the last fight, more than the Jamie fights, because I guess people might have been like, oh, but how good is Jamie actually and all that. So, but when you put someone like him in front of you and you do what I done to him, then they can say, all right, yeah, no, he's time to stop writing this fella off. But I hope I keep getting written off.
Have you had contact at all with Jamie since his retirement post?
No, look, we exchanged a few messages about it. Look, me and Jamie always got along very well.
Yeah. It was a lovely photo that you shared in Liverpool as well. That was a lovely photo that with the two E's, obviously with the fist. It was just, it was something nice to see after the 2 brilliant fights that he's had.
Yeah, there was never bitterness between me and Jamie. Weigh-ins, working up the fights, we always just chatted. There was no shit attached, if you get what I'm saying. Like, we both knew we were just going in there to do a job. We both knew we were going to put in a good fight and give the fans a very fan-friendly fight. I get that some people like that back and forth, but that doesn't mean you're going to get a good fight. Some people can talk big and they just can't fight. That's you don't need
that's boxing.
You don't need to be talking big to sell a fight. That's just people trying to sell tickets. I think now at this stage, people know no matter what way I go into a fight, you're getting a fight, like, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think people will be coming out in the future to see me fighting now because it's always going to be an exciting fight. But yeah, look, Jamie's a good fella. As I said, there was never any bitterness between us, anything like that. Where I was talking to him, even look, I was sparring Vlad down in the gym prior to the Brennan fight, and I was talking to Jamie there too. Like, there's me and Jamie always got along, and you know
That's
we
lovely
always
to
will.
hear.
We're we're cut from the same cloth. Look, we both just had a job to do, and that was it.
Yeah, yeah, like it's because I remember reading in Andy Lee's book. It's like, well, in the game of boxing, you two signed a contract or an agreement or something like that, and you know he's going to be punching yourself. He's going to be punching your you know each other in the face at the end of the day, and that's the job that he's have.
Yeah, look, I don't get the badness side of things.
Mm.
At the end of the day, you're still getting in the ring. You're still going to have to hit each other like that. You're gonna, you know, you can hate each other for however long it is, 30 minutes in the ring, 40 minutes in the ring, you know, whatever it is. Like, you know, but after that and before that, I don't see the point in wasting pointless time and pointless energy with pointless arguments, you know.
Yeah,
But I think that's the way things are these days. I guess there's a lot of it happens in the UFC, a lot of it happens over in America in boxing and stuff. People like to talk. I guess there's a good bit of it really everywhere, but
yeah,
it's just not me, you know. I guess if someone comes in my face, well, look, if you're at a face off and someone does something, you're going to react. But
yeah,
if someone's talking, it doesn't phase me. You know, if someone's talking about how great they are, their experience, this and that, at the end of the day, I've never hidden anything working up to that whole Emmett fight. I said what I was going to do. I didn't keep no secrets. Like, even we were doing an off the ball interview, and I said, they were just saying, "How are you going to win?" I think Emmett was going on about his technical ability and all that, and I just said what I was going to do. I said, "Look, I'm coming at you. Like, you know, it doesn't matter what you put at me. I'm going to keep coming."
yeah,
And I think maybe he thought it was a bit of talk, but as I said, I don't talk. I just do.
yeah. Kevin, thank you so much for talking to us here at IrishBoxing.com. Really appreciate your time as always. And obviously as well, good luck in December, and I'll see you down in Waterford when I see you.
Legend. Thanks very much,
I
man.
appreciate that.